ஆனந்தமே சாயி நாமமே, ஆனந்தமே சாயி நாமமே, அத்புதமே சாயி கீதமே, அதி அத்புதமே சத்ய சாயி கீதமே. ஆனந்தமே சாயி நாமமே, அத்புதமே சாயி கீதமே. பிரபஞ்சமே ஜோதிர்மயமே, பிரபஞ்சமே ஜோதிர்மயமே, சுந்தரமே சத்ய சாயி நாமமே, அதி சுந்தரமே சத்ய சாயி நாமமே.
Sairam everyone, my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, and today I am going to share a beautiful story that happened several years ago. This happened in our home in Ypsilanti, Michigan, USA. So it was on a Sunday. My children were getting ready to go to the spiritual Sai education class, and I was preparing fried rice in a 10-liter pressure cooker. I'm sure this story will be very interesting to the ladies. The previous day, it so happened one of my friends, she was met with an accident, and I told her that I'll prepare food and give her. So obviously I was preparing this fried rice in a big 10-liter pressure cooker. So since my children told me, and my children came and told me that that particular Sunday, they told that they have to be there in the class 1 hour earlier. So he told, Amma, make sure you please get ready. We need to leave 1 hour earlier. I said, okay, Kanna, I'll do that. And so saying, what I did, I tried to increase the stove. It was a gas stove. So I tried to increase the stove to the fullest flame. And then I went upstairs to get ready, so that I thought by the time I come, it will be half cooked or whatever. So let's do that and go, I just thought. So saying, I went upstairs and I got ready and I came down. As I was coming down, my husband was trying to pull the car from the garage. So when I saw that, I thought, oh my God, he already pulled the car, let me get ready, let me go leave. So saying, what I did, I went and wore my jacket, wore my shoes and locked the door and got into the car. And that's it. I completely forgot about the stove. And imagine, this house was a 3 months old house. It was newly built and it was just 3 months old. And it's a gas stove and it's a pressure cooker. You can imagine yourself what would have been the situation. As he was driving, I was just talking casually about other things, but nothing, it didn't strike me about the stove at all. So he was about almost after an hour or so, when he was about to take the exit, that's when I remembered, oh my God, I forgot to switch off the stove. So he said, don't worry my dear, I'll go and drop you all and I'll go back again, switch off the stove and come back again. So saying, he went and parked the car. My children got out of the car and they went inside to get into the class. The rest of the friends were wondering why my husband didn't get down. I told them this what happened. Then they were so kind enough, they said, no. He drove all the way from there and has come. So just give the keys to us. Let us, one of our husbands will go and switch off the stove and come. So just give the keys to us. And I felt very bad. I did the mistake and I don't want anyone to suffer for my sake. So saying, I told them, no, you know what? Let me ask Swami. Whatever he says, then we will follow accordingly. As so saying, I just kept walking towards the hall. Whereas the rest of the friends were talking to my husband and they asked, Bhaiya, what is she talking about? It's a brand new house, Bhaiya, and also it's a long way to go, so better give the keys, let us not delay, give the keys. And my husband said, no sister, if she decides to ask Swami, we cannot stop that. So let us wait, if needed, I'll definitely go, not a problem at all. Let's all go to the hall, please do come over. And then that particular time happened to be bhajan practice day, that day. So I told Swami, you know I'm so interested in your bhajans. At the same time I'm concerned about the house, and you know that it's a stove and a gas stove and it's a pressure cooker. So you make sure, Swami, whoever is going to sing the bhajan from the ladies' side right now, it should be the bhajan that I like the most. If that's the case, I will take it for granted that you will take care of the stove. I can sit here and enjoy your bhajans. I just put this request to Swami and I was waiting for the lady to start. So one of the ladies, she sang this bhajan. Guru Nanak ji ki jai jaikar, jo bole so hoye nihal. You know that it's a very melodious bhajan. I love that bhajan so much. So I was so happy. Thank God Swami answered my prayers. So he's going to take care of the stuff. Let me enjoy here, sitting here and enjoy the bhajan. In the meantime, the rest of the friends, they were just keep on nagging and they were showing serious face. Give the keys, give the keys. I said, wait, I asked Swami, hold on. Then I told Swami, looks like these people are really very restless. So just to be on the safe side, Swami, whoever is going to sing from the gent side should be the bhajan that I like the most. I just requested Swami, and I'll assume that in that case, if I get to hear, I will assume that you will take care of the stuff and I am here to enjoy your bhajans. From the men's side, they sang this bhajan. Jagadishwari daya karo ma, Shiva Shankari kripa karo ma. When I heard this bhajan, I said, well and good Swami. Please, daya karo, kripa karo Swami. Take care of the stove Swami. I want to enjoy your bhajans here Swami. I was just telling, and then I was just sitting and praying. In the meantime, one lady, one of the sisters, she got so restless that she gave me a pinch on my thigh. Then I told Swami, this time, I don't know, these people are really very restless, and this time I really want you to give a clear-cut answer, Swami, crystal clear-cut answer that that bhajan should be in such a way you are going to answer in that bhajan that you are going to take care of the stuff and I am going to be here to sing, enjoying your bhajans. I told this to Swami and I waited for the next bhajan to be sung. And the next bhajan was this. We are blessed, we are blessed, we are blessed. Sai Baba is watching over us. We are here to sing your sweet name. And that's it. When I heard those lines, I said, oh, well and good Swami. So you are going to wash the stove. We are here to sing your bhajan. Thank you so much, Swami. In the meantime, my husband also was turning back towards me and asking me, do you want me to go? Do you want me to go? He was showing gestures and I told him, wait, I asked Swami, and he kept quiet. So when everything was over, when I came out, I was still chit-chatting with my friends. So some of them, of course, it was all about Swami stories, nothing but Swami stories. So saying, they asked me to leave and immediately we left. So by the time we came here, as I said, it's a 1 hour drive, we came here, my heart started to pound. Until then I was so cool, but at that point my heart started to pound and I said, suddenly I turned back towards my husband and I shouted at him, go soon, I don't know what happened in the house, I'm really worried, go. I was just pestering him and pushing him. He took me and then he went and parked the car. I barged into the home to go and see what happened to the stove. When I went inside, I assumed that probably Swami would have done some miracle and nothing to worry about it. But to my utter surprise, the stove was as it is as I left it in the morning, to the fullest flame. And I got so mad and so scared and I started to yell at Swami, what is this Swami? I thought you will do some kind of miracle and you would have taken care of the home. And here the stove is as it is as I left here, and look at the pressure cooker, it is so heavy. When we tried to lift it up, it was way heavy. And we switched off the stove and my husband and myself, we took it and put it under the sink and we opened the water tap and then put the spoon under the weight and then waited for the pressure to release. In this case, I was yelling at him, see, you only told that not to waste anything and make sure everything is safe and nice. And here now all this rice is got burnt. On top of that, I promised that lady that I'm going to give her food. Do you want me to give this burnt rice, Swami? So saying, I was so upset and I was just yelling continuously like this. And then finally we waited for the pressure to get released and removed the weight, opened the lid, put the ladle, and we tried to go all the way inside, brothers and sisters. Believe me or not even a single grain of rice get caught. On top of that, it was so delicious that till today I cannot make it because he made the rice. In the meantime, I got so many phone calls. Jayanti, is everything okay in your house? We cannot even imagine sitting so boldly like that for so many hours. And then in return, I told them, you know what? This is what called total surrender. Total faith, 100% faith and 100% surrender. Because if only I had thought, okay, we can be devotional, we can be very devoted to Swami, but when it comes to practical things, we have to be very practical. Had I thought like that and had I come halfway through, definitely something would have happened. I am very positive about it. But because I left it to Swami 100%, and of course I just didn't leave it just like that. I got the assurance from him, not once but thrice. I got the assurance and he also gave me the assurance that he will take care. And that's the reason I sat there so boldly, assuming that Swami would have taken care. Why should I worry? And then also I told my friends, don't ever try to make an attempt. Unknowingly if you do something, it's different from doing something knowingly. And I remember in Sai Smaran, which Gadia has written the book, Swami says that if you have 100% faith on me, I will remove the half of your karma. But if you have 100%, if you surrendered 100%, I'll remove your whole karma, full karma, he says. So we need to have 100% faith and 100% surrender. This was a lesson I learned from this experience. The reason I narrated this experience was because one day I got a dream, and in the dream, actually I was supposed to say this in the beginning, but I want to tell you right now. In the dream, I'm in Kulwant Hall, standing next to Swami, and Swami is showing gestures to all the people, the way I laugh, I talk, I move around, etc. And everybody are giggling in the audience. And suddenly Swami looks at me, turns towards me, and he says, "You, go ahead and share your experiences." And I so politely asked Swami, "Me, Swami? Me?" I look at him and asking him like that. He says, "Yes, you." Then I asked Swami, "Which experience do you want me to share, Swami?" And he tells me, "Go ahead and share your grandma story and your stove story." And so saying, I'm telling Swami, "Sure, Swami, I will share that." So in my dream, I'm trying to share my stove story and my grandma story. But in real, what happened was, I want to request my husband to share it with you all. Thank you. Sai Ram. Swami bless you all.
Sai Ram. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Bhagavan, Sri Satya Sai Baba. I just want to add a little bit about Jayanti's dream when she was talking, and it was probably around 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up listening to the voice of her. I could feel really that she was talking in her dream. But what she was talking was about philosophy of life. In fact, Swami was using her voice to give a discourse about the purpose of human life. Swami was talking about the requirement of detachment for sadhakas and leading a life with control of senses and the mind. And this reminded me of a Nobel laureate lecture that I listened to when I was a graduate student at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. It was so profound and it was so touching, and she used English vocabulary that she did not use before or after that. Then I realized that it was Swami who was talking, and the words were very, very, carefully delivered, and the vocabulary touched my heart, and I felt, Swami, what a blessing that, you have come in her dream and you have advised her to lead a purposeful life. Om Sri Sai Ram.